सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु. So by satsang, what happens, the moment I say Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, your intellect picks up the wisdom and understanding, it becomes aware, goes to the mind, and the mind abides by it, and your thought, speech, and action undergoes a change. But how that process takes place, we have covered in the previous sessions. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. One example, you see, I say, may there be peace for all. My role is done. Now, your intellect understands, yes, peace is good, but that the mind is wandering somewhere else. And the mind says, okay, that's as if there is no peace in the world. So you follow the unverified belief that the stress is everywhere. You follow the modern dualities in a conflict. What is that? It is an age of anxiety. There is too much of stress in the life. So it means you are not doing it. But if the mind instantly recognizes that it is stress and duality is an unverified belief, and you say, okay, after all, Eastern wisdom says belief pending inquiry. So you accept the belief. It is the first, you accept the peace as it is. The first point of change. But it happens deeper within. It is not, nothing changes outside. You still have, for example, the crazy relationship outside. People are crazy outside, but inside you undergo a change. That is what the satsang is. Satsang is not just attending a formal session and collecting the information. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness, wholeness in all. That wholeness is a concept, is a thought, is an idea. Now your mind says, yes, I believe it. Pending inquiry. If mind is so much receptive, at the same time it is ready to drop and dissolve, how can I be whole unless I have $10 million? How can I be whole if I don't marry? As long as I'm single? How can I be, how can, unverified belief. We follow this unverified belief. That has been our life. No, I'm single, where is the happiness? I'm married, where is the happiness? I'm divorced, where is the happiness? Can you stay somewhere? We don't want to stay. We don't want to stick to any understanding. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham. May there be auspiciousness for all. It's the easiest thing to listen and claiming understanding. It is the intellect, the head. but to pass on that understanding to the heart, means the mind. When this mind already had millions of unverified beliefs, causing the impurities of the mind, craziness in the mind, delusion in the mind. And that delusion is claimed as real and it doesn't want to leave. We can expect auspiciousness. That is why we have Mangalacharan, listening, learning, and contemplation, reflection, practice, and experience, applying the wisdom, daily analysis before you go to sleep. You know, yes, I am okay. And that okay belief is settling into your life. That will prepare you for awakening. That is why we covered all those things. So, we have to unlock the heart. So we have already Shanti Shanti Shanti. Open your eyes. What did I chase today? No, yesterday. That runs away. I have to ask myself, daily analysis. Where did I try to teaspoon control the ocean? I feel internally that I'm limited, but I want to control that ocean, that piece. What did I micromanage that was never mine to steer? We need a consistent and constant awareness to reach to that state of awakening. There is a very easy way. I feel lot of energy there, lot of blue color and red color and yellow color, and we fall into the delusion. It has nothing to do with the awakened state. Anyhow, let us share your experiences, what happened since the last session. How are you, Barbara? We don't hear you.
Okay, I'm doing good. I don't have a specific incident to talk about, but I do find that in general, I'm worrying a lot less and that I'm dealing with situations as they come up and I'm not thinking in advance, what if?
Yes, yes. What if? But based on unverified belief, what will happen? One day, whatever has to happen will happen to me. Why to worry? Yes, very good. How are you, Dennis?
I'm fine. Generally peaceful of the last 3 days, and I'm doing the practice and contemplating, reflecting, analyzing, and challenging my beliefs.
Yes.
I noticed that mind attempted to react a couple of times, but I recognized it, and I immediately started laughing internally because it was like mind. I know what you're trying to do, and I'm just not going there.
All delusions, when recognized, you have to make fun of those delusions. If you don't make fun of those delusions, they will return again. Beautifully said. How are you, David and Jared?
Thank you. Yeah, just the hierarchy or the priority of Mangalacharn, Eastern wisdom, before urgency, before stress, before angst, before worry or anything else, and just kind of reprioritizing how you look at things and how you receive things, in my mind, is sort of that daily practice that I'm doing. And you get a bad phone call or whatever, and you don't label it. You just step back and go, okay, that's a phone call. That's it. Goodbye, type thing. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Beautifully said. Before any limited activities, before speech, let me remind myself, before doing anything, before Eastern wisdom is in front. Why? Because that leads me to the reality. So I avoid and prevent any kind of delusion. That is beautifully said. How are you, Jerry?
So I'm good, thank you. I've really been thinking about the fruits of the meditation, and think that the fruits are the change that we see every day. And sometimes they're small, sometimes they're big, but that is where we see the change when we're looking at ourselves instead of that outside world. And then it's really, for me as well as to Dennis, I like to play with it, like to have fun with it. I like to, I was just talking to a friend that's living with us, and I said, for me, I make fun of myself if I feel disturbed. I'm like, where did I leave my peace? Did I leave it in the car? Where did? And it's just kind of, as soon as I do that, and it's silly. It's just silly. And I remember where it is. And I know that this will pass. And also there's a reason that things are transpiring the way they are. So if we can look at it and see what the opportunity is, I think is also so nice.
Yes. While watching the movie, you are still aware of the screen. That is the key that is one of the most important points. Everything passes, all activity, thought, speech, but behind that movie, that drama that is playing every day in our life, there is something, if I maintain my awareness, the life passes so smoothly and calmly. Beautifully said. That is another way to express and learn. So that is why we are sharing the experiences. How are you, Stevie?
You want to say so? I'm good. Everything is just good. I'm consistent on a daily basis. I'm diligent to my practice and to the teachings of the Eastern wisdom, and I apply it through the process of the listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, discernment, and my level of, and I'm keen to my level of awareness in every situation. So it's been good, and it works. So thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. You can also express that, I'm applying the discernment and dispassion in all these principles. Now see what you do when you have a heaviness in your head. Let me correct my heaviness. No, you take care of that heaviness, take care of that dizziness, but at the same time, are you aware of the screen that does not see? That is an observer that makes you aware. So what will happen? You will continue your activities and you take care of it. That is what happens. So it is the power of the discernment. How are you, Christina Raghu?
Thank you. My takeaway so far is I need to be having more fun, more play and fun. I think I take things too seriously, and the amount of work coming at me feels like it's more than one person can handle. So I think coming back to that question of where did I leave my peace?
Yes.
And I think you mentioned not micromanaging what's not yours. What am I holding on too tightly to? Be able to let go of.
Yes. I already proposed to you that you make me your assistant if you have too much of work. Second thing, why you want to do so much of work? Second, third point, if I'm engaged in so much of work, why don't I take it lightly? What is the point in my mind that I take it so heavily? So there is something sticking around that needs to be explored, reflected upon. Is anything in the world serious? Tell me. Tell me, is anything in the world is so serious? Being single? So if it is so serious, then I'm suffering, I don't have anything. You are married, oh, what was that moment when I got married? You see that, tell me anything that is. You are divorced, you have a problem. Another Christina, how are you?
Very good, sir. Thank you. I love hearing everyone's thing to share because oh yes, I relate to that. So, I have been full of gratitude, and I love something that you said last time, that you said Eastern wisdom begins with you and it's for you, and that really sparked a whole new joy in my heart, and I've been leading with that, and just kind of in every situation and conversation, I try to sprinkle in some of what we're learning, but in a not like a teaching way, but just forming it to that type of conversation who I'm talking to, and I've just been it's been very calm and peaceful, just keeping the peace and not losing it.
Yes, we must express that principles of Eastern wisdom, not in the tone that we are teaching someone, we are just expressing. We are performing our action, we are mixing, we are bringing those wisdom in our thought, in our speech and action, in our relationship, in our personal life, in our professional life. That makes the things very easy. Yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. So generally, it was calm and peaceful, and it's also I realized that there are many places where I have to work on myself. So it keeps coming, and then I have to work on myself. So
Yes, that is why the satsang is very important. We'll talk about it. That is our topic for a couple of sessions. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर पहले तो सॉरी लेट आने के लिए। सर लास्ट वीक बहुत हेक्टिक था, आपको बताया कि घर शिफ्ट किया ऋषिकेश में, तो लेकिन एक अंदर एक भाव था श्रद्धा का कि गुरुदेव कर रहे हैं और सब ठीक हो रहा है, और अब सब कुछ अपने आप ठीक ठाक होता गया, तो टेंशन उतनी नहीं थी, काम का प्रेशर ज्यादा था पर स्ट्रेस नहीं था।
Beautiful, yes. He moved from the capital of India to a Himalayan region where my master has a monastery. So she was constantly thinking it is being done by the Guru internally. In spite of being fully busy, everything passed peacefully. That is also a great principle of the Eastern wisdom. So we are talking of Satsang. You have already understood the intellectual understanding. Satsang means the company of the real. Last time I rephrased it. Satsang means the Eastern wisdom begins with you and for you. Begins with me, peace, and for me. Anxiety has come because I'm meeting you. It is a handbrake. It is present in the mind. I have to release it. So what we have to understand that all our suffering is self-inflicted software. It is not a hardware failure. I'm more talking of in a modern term, in computer terms, to make you understand. That is how, my personality is made up of. I had a fascination of physics and computing long back since 1999. First time I got exposed to the internet when I was in Indonesia. And since then, I never left it. My son was even 5 or 6 years old. So in those days, because when you are a diplomat, you get a lot of money. And you do 5% of work and you earn 100%. That is a normal observation that I have had living with those diplomats. So I bought 2 more computers. One I gave to my daughter and other I gave to my son. So son liked it, and that's why he's in the IT field. Anyhow, suffering is self-inflicted software. The moment you feel anxiety, duality, and a conflict, it is my unverified belief that is, I'm busy. I have a lot of work to do. It is unverified belief. I have to examine. Do you remember? But if you are doing the practice of Mangalacharan, then only you will remember. You are doing daily analysis, then you will remember. Then what is the wandering mind? Wandering mind is a handbrake delusion. You listen to all those principles and still you don't change. What it means? You're not doing contemplation and reflection. So satsang, by attending, still you are attending the satsang, still you are going for it. Still you are listening. You get frustrated, still you are listening. One day, who say, one day you will change. That is what our master says. Satsang is our core team. If you believe it, it is my core team. Company of the real. Repeatedly tunes your mind, replacing dogma with discernment until peace drives effortlessly. You are listening again and again. How many times, in these 5 years I said peace is your essential nature? You know that. How many times you went into anxiety reaction and stress? Why you forget that peace is your essential nature? So anxiety has no place, reaction has no place, busyness has no place. Oh, I missed a lot of times. So you should not miss. That is why satsang is there. Satsang has to be there. Let us convert this today's lesson into a couple of thoughts so that you remember. The first thing, self-inflicted software glitch inside you causes endless suffering. Otherwise, suffering is not there. Suffering isn't a hardware defect. It is not a hardware defect. Your body, job, circumstances, events, relations, there is a glitch there. What is that glitch? Our master says that glitch is ignorance. So what ignorance did? Ignorance that programs your perception. Are you understanding? Ignorance that programs your perception. I did not understand. Example. Example, who should be the guinea pig? Oh, let Ashok be there, yes. Ashok is a wonderful guy. He listens and he doesn't listen. Now, when I say this, now there is a sense of irritation in the mind of Ashok. That is your ignorance. So ignorance has programmed your perception. It has built a sense of ego that makes you limited, that causes the reaction. This is just an example. Ashok, this is an example. This is not about you. No, I can give other examples. Even I gave example in Dennis' session about another guy who is Arman. No, luckily both their names starts from A, Ashok and Arman. You see, the ignorance programs your perception. Would you forget Would you like to forget or would you like to remember all the time? Anytime you have anxiety, duality, conflict, busyness, any sense of discomfort, ignorance has programmed your perception. Change your perception. Reflect on it. It writes the false code. What is the false code? Example, I'm this role, I'm incomplete, I'm frustrated, what should I do? Happiness, exists elsewhere. I'm totally frustrated after the marriage, after the divorce, or I'm not getting married. You see, these are the codes, the ignorance facts. So satsang is very important. What exactly we are doing? Again, I'm not an expert like Dennis, but I will just use the same computer analogy. You imagine blaming your laptop keyboard for your bad novel. Our pain comes from the scripts we run silently in our mind. Krishna was saying, she goes to the office, I'm fully busy, I have written a script silently in my mind. I'm not looking for how many works that I have to complete today. Our pain comes from the scripts. Our mind runs silently in ignorance, not the screen of life. I have to update my mental software. I have to do the Mangalacharan, regular contemplation and reflection, applying the wisdom, daily analysis, and you will find that there is a change. But I have to be consistent. That is what the satsang talks about. Second thing to understand, this mind is neutral. We will talk in detail about, I will take up this, why the mind is neutral. But I make it wandering because I'm seeking something. That is why the mind is wandering. You are seeking an iPhone, for example. So my mind is not wandering because of the iPhone. It is you. You see that? So you are single, so you are thinking of getting married. I'm already married. So you see that what I'm saying? Mind is neutral. But we don't allow it to remain neutral because we are seeking something from the world outside. So if I become aware of what that's seeking and check if that seeking is right, how it should be addressed, you are free. But if your mind keeps wandering, a distracted mind burns the energy like a car spinning wheels in a place. You think you are moving, but you are just exhausting the inner fuel. The wandering mind constantly shifts between past and the future, regrets and the desire. Tell me, Krishna, are you happy because you are fully busy? Just before this job, you were free. So you were happy before or you are happy now? I have to examine my unverified belief. When you examine it, you will find Satsang is your core team. Satsang. Satsang, we say company of the real. By the intellect, I invoke what exactly is the real here. What is the belief? How I continued that unverified belief in my life. And that is causing the suffering. How you compare with the computer. Every driver needs a periodic tune-up. Satsang is that pit stop, core team, where wisdom mechanics realign your wheels with the truth. That is why the satsang is very important. Satsang has been considered the most important, most important concept in our Eastern wisdom. But so no, just listen to him, and no, that is not the case. We are going to explore that what exactly is satsang, and that is what I'm doing it. So you check your unverified belief in light of the real, in light of these principles, and you let them go. You release from within, and that needs a discipline. Release from within, that needs a discipline. That is why we have Mangalacharan. I'm repeating. Listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience, applying the wisdom daily, daily analysis in the evening before you sleep, and then you see life. The mind, the intellect is ready for a deeper insight, for a clarity, for that. What is that clarity? You will start feeling that there is a freedom in flow. Once the handbrake is lifted, I already explained you the handbrake in the last session also. Any handbrake, means that, how are you? I say, hey, how are you? But internally, my mind is thinking something about you. Outside, I'm saying, how are you? It is a handbrake. So we have many handbrake all the time in every relationship, in every activity. The moment you are the same, again I'm taking an example of Krishna, you are the same who sits in the office. Handbrake. What is the handbrake? I'm fully busy. There's a lot of activity. I can bet you count the number of acts that you perform inside your home would be double than the works that you do at your office. Handbrake. Once the handbrake is lifted, life stops resisting itself. Events still happen. Events still happen. I'm stressing again, events still happen. Traffic, weather, detours, office job, session, it still happens, but your driving becomes effortless. Are you getting it? Peace flows not from the external control, but from the internal clarity, six treasures. That is why we covered those principles in the beginning to reach there. Satsang, Eastern wisdom says, I have not to forget this. Eastern wisdom says, we are diamonds. Stop polishing your paperweight. Why you keep polishing your paperweight? Because I want to make this paperweight a diamond. Did you understand? Well, let us use it. You are a diamond, not the paperweight. What it means, the real self is pure diamond. Body, mind, stories, rules, your personal life, professional life, social life is just like a paper. Don't polish too much. Don't get too much involved into it. Take it easily. Take it easy. No, if I take it easy, I will not earn. Okay, are you earning? Yes. So if you earn more, what will happen? Does your happiness increase by 10% or 15%? Your suffering is a software bug. It is nothing coming from the universe. Again, I am saying the real self is like the pure diamond. I should remember body, mind, stories, personal life, professional life, activities, challenges, they are just a paperweight. You cannot polish to make it diamond. Do whatever you want to do, it will never happen. So once you understand these principles, and then meditation becomes a surgery of your mind. It removes the entire ignorance. Why do I believe this? What is the fun of it? Why should I believe? So you drop the unverified belief. So you are dropping the unverified belief means you are making the mind very clear, pure. And there the real self reflects. You are there, the awakening comes. Simple principle. Live consciously. Why? You dissolve delusion. What is satsang? Satsang makes you aware that I have to live consciously days after days. The moment I wake up until I fall into sleep, because you cannot say that I sleep consciously. So the day you wake up until you sleep. Your day is a smartphone on a 2% battery. 2% battery means default mind, impulses, past impression, agenda, busyness. Default mind drains it with the pop-up blames, anxiety notifications. Eastern wisdom is a life-changing experience. How? By discernment and dispassion, by Mangalacharan, practice listening and learning, contemplation and reflection. You simply change the entire perspective of the mind in the very morning so that your life throughout the day becomes easy, peaceful, and you start focusing on the screen, not on the movie that you do. This movie is not going to help you to be in peace. You are fully busy. How long? Tell me when you will be free. There is not a single day I can be free. You wake up tomorrow in the morning and you have a pain. Now you go to the doctor. You have already booked a ticket for a theater to watch a film. I don't know what's going to happen. But this is all a part of the movie. The screen is behind. I am behind. The real self is behind. It is not me. The drama is not me. Let me organize the drama and finish it. That is the message of satsang. We will pick up another topic of the satsang. In our next lesson, close your eyes. Now, with that intellectual understanding, allow the mind to move with that understanding. Let us see. I told you, diamond represents the real self and the true nature of the peace and happiness. Paperweight represents the body, senses, mind, intellect, ego, roles that we do it. And what is the conflict? Conflict is that I spend my whole life polishing the paperweight, trying to fix the external circumstances or the physical self while using 100-carat diamond that is already within me. That is the problem. So that is why that brings us to the first step, the stage 1, place, position and posture. Place, position and posture reflected in the diamond. Simply by listening, it puts you into that state. Now we are doing practice, Ashok. So, but if you are listening from the default and deluded mind, then place, position, and posture is already gone. So your eyes are closed. You are in a state of place, position, and posture, being carefree. Now you see that your verified belief of Dimond, unverified belief of the default mind will make the difference completely. Being comfortable, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Because you see, it is the verified belief that reduces the time of a particular step that you are doing in meditation, and ultimately it becomes timeless. So, being comfortable, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now being carefree. Now being carefree, you are instantly in the mode of screen in the movie. Previously, you were only watching the movie, engrossed into it, attached to it, but now there are two instead of one, there is a two. Observer and observed. We have to bring that state with clearly. In that state, we may have a glimpse of Sama, Dhamma, Uparama. And in that state, now the observer is there, observed is also there. So now you change the observed. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Happiness is our experience in the beginning, and then we recognize that we are happiness. So you see a very subtle movement. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. Yes, we can follow that which I told you, that 3 times we have to do it, 3 times meaning, and after that we contemplate. So in our personal practice we continue to do it, but even once, because we are seekers, mind can easily enter deeper, so it is okay. And we gently transition to the stage 1. Be aware of the flow of the breath. The moment I say you are aware of the flow of the breath, it's a 3-point attention on the breath. The breath is going in and out, feeling the sensation, and no change. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath, my friends. In the background of your 3-pointed attention on the breath, in the background or backstage. What is the backstage? place, position, and posture, sensation, comfort, and steadiness, sensation, relaxation, and stillness is there. Why it is there? Why I experience the stillness? It's a part of the observer. Why I experience the relaxation? It's a part of the observed. So there is a clarity in the background and in the front. It is just the flow of the breath. So today I put the deep silent slow breathing into the stage 2. You will recognize what you need to do, which step to follow. I'm just giving an example. If you remember all the steps, start breathing deep, silent, and slow. First thing, and as you inhale, you move your mind from the top center of the head down to the tailbone, singing Om Shanti. And while breathing out, your mind moves from the tailbone to the top center of the head, singing mentally Om Shanti. You're singing mentally. In your mind, you're doing it as if you're singing loudly in your mind with the breathing in, inhalation and exhalation along the line of the spine. You may start feeling some sensation. So we take it as an indication that at least now the mind is traveling inside. Do you remember? I discussed about it. The mind normally travels outside, but it always wanders inside. But now the mind is traveling. So we have beautiful vision and experiences when the mind continues to travel inside. It may have a lot of sensation, vision, colors. It's okay. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. And now leave this deep silent slow breathing, move to the natural flow of the breath. First check. Place, position, posture is intact, sensation, comfort, and steadiness is there. You're looking at the breath. There is no change. You feel the sensation. And now you start dropping Om Shanti. On each breath going in, on each breath coming out. We left the deep, long in the hissing breath. So we transition to the stage 3, the flow of the breath with Om Shanti. Yes, I picked up one topic today. Mind is neutral. Based on that understanding, we can change the mind the way we like. We can feed the mind with too much of violence. We can feed the mind with too much of clarity. We can feed the mind with discernment and dispassion. Our fully busyness, reaction, anxiety simply dissolves. Look at the beauty. Again, I remember, how can I forget those teachings of our masters? How deeply they have verified what they teach. And that is what we are learning. They are drawing Shanti on the breath that is moving, going inside and outside. So you can easily recognize the mind is still wandering or mind is traveling. Mind is traveling. Yeah, it takes time to settle into that. Not only in meditation practice, but during the day, in relationship, in your activities. Is it possible? Just think it is possible. Then where is that your fully busyness has gone? It's gone. You are free in doing your activities. Why? And now you start dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. We already discussed about how subtle changes takes place in the mind by doing these 4 different steps with Om Shanti. One with the deep silence, slow breathing. Second, on the spine. Second, on the normal breathing pattern. Third is on the 16 segments of the fingers, and fourth is on the triangle. Nothing can be, we have no luxury to leave them at this moment. We have to continue until we start having a clear, distinctive experiences in each 4 layers. What will be those? No. You have to reveal it so that I can point out, yes, it is happening. Deep here, rubbing Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. And we already discussed the way you drop it is good. It may be Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. It may be Om Shanti. It may be longer than that, because it should depend on the mood and the mode of your mind. I covered that topic last year. I'll remind you all those principles that we have covered, and they are our friends in succeeding in meditation. And now leave this. Also move the mind inside the heart. Visualize the triangle pointing upward, equilateral triangle. Now move your mind on the each side of a triangle in a clockwise fashion, dropping Shanti, then anti-clockwise, then clockwise, then anti-clockwise. Not only to find a sync, but to continue to be in the state of sync. That sync is, I don't want to use the word tricky, but it challenges your mind at a very subtler level. It prevents any unverified belief into your mind. So the chances of falling into anxiety, duality has no place. And now push the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing mentally. And you see, the mind seems to stop there. You say Shanti, and after that you do nothing. You transition into the stage 4. In the stage 4 is the state of you drop all your efforts. The stage 4 is all about you are waiting for revelation, waiting for new experiences, if I say so. And that may be in the form of vision, color, images, tingling, numbness. So even if there is a tingling and the numbness and freezing of the body, you need not to move it. There. It's an indication the mind is totally absorbed deeper within. You need not worry about it. You should not get carried away. Because if you get carried away by any of the experiences, you'll become anxious. Or mind will say, oh, wow, such a beautiful experience, but it may be hallucination. We apply the same formula. Observer and observed, screen in the movie. I don't know how our fellow teachers and also the seekers, they start with the mindfulness means observer and observe. And they forget once they start having these images and visions and color, their experience, they say, wow, I don't understand that. Yes, it may be an infinite space, dark space or white space, whatever it is. Gradually out of that nothingness, emptiness, revelation takes place. And it gives you a deeper insight. Right? Real self is of the nature of knowledge, love. So in meditation, sometimes it reveals knowledge, sometimes love, sometimes peace, etc., etc. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We move to the fifth stage where we chant together, either mentally or loudly, depending on you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Their awareness on the right hand, their awareness on the left hand. Lift your both of arms, place it on your eyes and open the eyes inside and stay there for a while. Yes, we should ask the intellect what happened, where I was. And then bring the hands down to share your experiences. How are you, young Christina?
Thank you, Girish. That was deep. I felt extremely heavy. That was really hard to come out of. The itch being a little bit shorter, it felt very deep. And I wanted to go to the heart space, I noticed, and we didn't go specifically to that as we do on Mondays. So, but learning to not be attached.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful. Your face indicates that it has gone deep. You see the label. We should address the label in our personal, professional, and social life. What did I say? Oh, how are you, young Christina? It is just a label. So I have to maintain your awareness. Another Krishna is also young. Yes, Christina Rago.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't hear you. He has really become young.
Can you hear me now?
No, it is just, as if you are singing. You correct your mic and then we will come back to you. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Very, very deep, very peaceful, fun, light, energetic. Thank you.
Beautiful. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Absorbed. Felt effortless. Thank you.
Yeah. Is it possible to remain absorbed all the time, even while doing your personal, professional, social activities? The answer is yes, it is possible. So we have two options. Either I am absorbed with my crazy mind, or I am absorbed in it and doing my activity. Yes, Christina. Raghu.
Can you hear me now?
Same thing. Your voice seems to be playing some music. Adjust adjust. One more opportunity. Barbara, how are you?
I'm good. My meditation was very peaceful, very calm, very deep. I love what you said about us spending our life polishing the paperweight, and we don't ever see the diamond within.
We don't see the diamond. And diamond is always with the paperweight. Why? Because the moment I say I'm taking care of the body, I'm conscious. So that consciousness is already there in every situation. I am conscious of anxiety. Means I experience anxiety. that diamond is still there. I don't look at the diamond, I look at the paperweight. Yes, you are right. How are you, Christina Rago again? You see that I'm chasing her. How are you, Dennis?
Okay.
How are you, Dennis?
My meditation was seamless, deep, no disturbances, and at the end, just the dark, infinite space. The mind was resting there, and I was observing. It was very peaceful.
Beautiful. You see, all experiences that you all have shared or have been sharing, it is pointing to the observer, the knower. Knower does not know any modification. Knower is not the paperweight. It is always there as it is. And I live into that state all the time. That is a pointer our masters are pointing to in every meditation. Yes, Stephen, how are you, sir?
Thank you, sir. I found the lesson be very intriguing. I was contemplating and reflecting during the whole time about your examples, your analogies. I was like, yep, I remember that. And was instantaneously processing how I would have reacted to that today. And then as we started the meditation, immediately came to, as I closed my eyes, I said, Satsang reminds us that we live from the inside out and not the outside in. And I immediately found myself in the heart center. And I heard everything that was going on, but I was in the heart center. And I immediately had a vision of your master.
Oh.
And I just stared at his face and then found, as I was going deeper and deeper, that I was in lotus position. He was in lotus position, and I was just looking at him and observing him the entire time. And it was, I didn't think about anything else but just staring at him. So thank you.
Beautifully said. I said something until you revealed something in the meditation, then only I will talk about it. And during this session, I was thinking why my master is not there. And there you are revealed. Your mind reveals that my master is with you. That is what happens. So that is how the entire tradition follows. Not only you reveal in your vision my master, but his master also. His master also. But it doesn't mean that others are not doing good in meditation. Everyone has its own path. But these, in a different way, these vision and color starts appearing. So there are many kind of these revelations which confirms. Ashok is surprised. How are you, Ashok? He kept listening to me even when I repeatedly said, please, close your eyes and be in meditation. So he was doing this. So I amplified his picture and I wanted to see whether he is really practicing meditation like this or he is still listening. So when I said, after 5 minutes of the practice of meditation, then he realized he was so much absorbed. Then he has to practice. Yes, Ashok, how are you?
Sir, nothing to say.
Nothing to say.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Dennis, we have many things to say by Arman, So we have good people. Vaibhav, how are you?
Thank you, sir. Some mind was calm, and just in practice, I was just saying that don't give too much importance to the mind, and it became calm.
Yes, 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 yes. Totally. You know, I just laid down the bed at 10 and the mind was revealing. I will talk about that, what it revealed, a new understanding. Principles are the same coming from the master. Expression is the different. So what I started doing that I keep my voice recorder near my bed. I said, who will write? Just open it and record it and close it. So I had many revelations, maybe 5 or 6 revelations until 12 in the midnight. So I will just talk about that. I will reform it into a lesson. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर बहुत पीसफुल और एकदम absorbed.
Beautiful. So she says that totally absorbed and very peaceful. You have, this is totally, it is being recorded, it is placed on the YouTube, so we are not polishing anything. We are just putting as it is. Whatever you share your experience, and we should be open to share our experiences, whether good, bad, high or low. Please continue the journey. We will meet again on a new lesson on Saturdays. Those who are willing, they can join. Thank you. And
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.